Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn daily energy for Wednesday, January 5th. And this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not. All right, so we have the High Priestess. And what is she crossed by? All right, Eight of Swords. We have the Five of Swords. I feel like the Five of Swords is coming out a lot lately for Capricorn. We have the Magician. We have the King of Cups. We have the Four of Wands. We have the Five of Pentacles. I feel like the Five of Swords and the Five of Pentacles keeps wanting to come out. We have the Eight of Cups. We have the Nine of Wands. Oh, we have the Wish card. I love that, okay? So our outcome is the Wish card. So that's what we have to focus on, as it is the outcome. Even though we've got these challenges here, we have the Five of Swords, we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Swords, we have the Eight of Cups, okay? Even though we have these challenges, we have to keep our eye on the prize, which is the Nine of Cups, which is that, you know, those dreams and those wishes and those goals, and that, you know, there's going to be struggles, there's going to be ups and downs. I definitely feel that for Capricorn. I feel like for Capricorn, I feel like every achievement is something that I feel Capricorn has worked hard for and earned it. I feel like it's, you know, some things do fall in place, but I feel like for Capricorn, I'm a Capricorn sun and a Capricorn rising. I feel like, you know, it's like that goat that goes up the mountain, and sometimes you go down it goes down the paths that are sort of a dead end, and it's like, it's a fight and it's a climb to the top. And I feel like that's sort of the energy of the Capricorn, is that there are those struggles, but I do feel that those struggles and those difficult situations that Capricorn is able to persevere through is what makes Capricorn so strong, okay? And that's what makes Capricorn a fighter and persevere, is because they have their eye on their prize, the eye on the Nine of Cups. They know there's going to be difficult situations, trying to figure out how to get past those, not letting those situations take advantage of them, and pushing through. So I feel like in this instance, it's about you're holding back, listening to your inner voice, okay? I feel like this year is a big year for Capricorn to really get in tune with that inner voice, to really listen to that inner voice. Sometimes, you know, it's like, well, no, I want to do this, even though the inner voice is saying, you know what, it's really go this way, and you're like, no, I want to go that way, and then it's like, well, if I had listened to my inner voice to begin with, then I wouldn't have went the long way around. So I feel like this year it's about getting in tune with that inner voice. And stomping out, I like this card because it's like he's stomping on those two swords, and it's like stomping those out, and there's two people talking behind him, and he's like, I don't care. I don't care. You know, I'm going to do what works for me. I'm stomping this out. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not getting... And if you're having that feeling that there are people that are talking behind your back or that are being negative, listen to that. Don't make excuses for people's bad behavior, okay? I feel like by listening to this, that inner voice, things become calmer for you. Like, it's easier going. There's more of a flow to it. There's more connections with the people that matter to you, and walking away from the people that don't matter, walking away from the situations that don't matter for you. I feel that, you know, Capricorn kind of does feel like a loner. Capricorn does need its time by itself, but we also like to have those connections, and I feel like Capricorn has a small circle, a very tight-knit circle of those. It's kind of like layers. I feel like Capricorn knows a lot of people, but there's very few that are in the tight inner circle, that are the closest, and then it kind of branches out from there. And that may not be every Capricorn, but I'm just saying from my experience between myself and other Capricorns that I've known, is that it's having that tighter inner circle where there's only a few that are really let into that. But then I feel like Capricorn does know a lot of people. Let's see. So let's get some clarifiers. Hanging in there, 9 of Wands, hanging in there. Persevering, and that's what I was saying. Tenacity. Isn't that, I was reading what was it, a description, for my stones that I got, and the description for the Capricorn healing stones that I got, it was tenacity. That's how they described Capricorn. And then we have the Magician, which has that overall energy to the reading. And the Magician is about kind of researching and finding those things that work. Because he's looking in his book and he's trying to figure out, okay, what works and what doesn't work. And above him we have the infinity sign, which is individual empowerment and everlasting love. But I feel the key is this High Priestess right in the middle here, is listening to that inner voice, connecting with self, okay? Lovers, love that. The lovers. With relationships, like I was telling you, having those relationships that are very close, kind of in that inner circle, standing up for what you believe in, making those choices that are best for you. Oh, look at this. The High Priestess flipped over again, okay? The High Priestess. So that's 2 High Priestess right here. So that is definitely about getting in touch with that inner voice and those feelings and listening to yourself, making the choices that are best for you in your relationships, whatever that Lover's card may represent for you. Personal relationships, friendships, business. Okay, King of Swords, thinking about, hey, I'm not going to deal with stuff anymore. I'm not going to let other people affect me. I'm stomping that out. I'm not dealing with the drama anymore. Okay, Tower, 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 Tower. What is it? What are those things that you need to tear down? And then what are those things that you have to build up? Is it other relationships? Is it your own thinking? You know, sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. You know, sometimes it's like you want to ask yourself, well, was I really looking out for myself in that decision? Was I really looking out for myself in that relationship? And I feel like you can't beat yourself up about past relationships, but it's almost like, okay, let me learn from that. And let me see it from that perspective as, you know, questioning, almost like talking to yourself and saying, like, why did you make that decision? Like, were you really looking out for me? You know, but within yourself. I don't know, maybe I sound crazy. But I feel like that's, again, listening to the inner voice. If the inner voice was saying, hey, you know, steer clear of that, and you're like, no, I wanna pursue this, and then it, you know, maybe it, you know, turned out wonderfully, but maybe it didn't. But just kind of seeing those decisions, and I feel like learning from our own actions that we do. You know, and is that what you need to rebuild? Is that what you need to reassess? Your own thinking, or is there other relationships, you know, partnerships that you need to reassess? King of Cups. All right. We have the 4 of Cups and we have the 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups is one of my favorite cards in this deck, as you know, if you've listened to me. It's that cozy, comfy feeling. That's what I said, is I feel that because you've let go, you've emptied out these 3 cups, and you're focusing on this 2 of Cups. You know, positive relationships. Those people that are there to support you, and feeling like things are easier going, feeling like things flow better. Focusing on this 9 of Cups. Looking past all of these decisions, making these decisions, seeing that there's work that needs to be done, but still keeping that 9 of Cups in sight, Okay, we have Nine of Wands and we have the King of Wands. Learning from those things. That's exactly what I was saying before, is like learning from those things. We have two Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's tiring, it's exhausting, trying to figure this out. It's like, who knew you had to go through all of this, you know, within life. But I feel like once you're kind of in that habit and you've kind of changed your perspective and your outlook, and you're listening to that inner voice more, I feel like, again, things become easier. Like it's not as much of a chore. Like it just flows more. Like you just know right away, okay, this situation is not something that I want to deal with. This situation is, let me step back and let me think about it. This situation is something that I do want to have happen. And just knowing that, and that just sort of flows easier. But, you know, it's like learning something new. It takes you a while in order to figure that out, okay? So feeling alone, but yet doing that work within when you're alone, and doing this work here, you know, doing this tower energy, this tower work, okay? Getting to it, not putting that on the back burner anymore, okay? We have Eight of Cups, and then we have the Chariot, walking away and moving forward, walking away from the Eight of Cups, whatever that may represent for you, and then moving forward, not going back and forth with it, not over-analyzing things, not looking back and saying, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, or being irritated with yourself because of decisions that you make, but accepting it, learning it, and moving on from it. Oh, look at that, Eight of Cups, another Eight of Cups. So there are things that are hard to walk away from. There are things that, you know, it's kind of like, you know, those maybe it's a tchotchke, or it's a picture, or it's a something that you have, you know, and sometimes it's, this analogy came to mind, is that sometimes, you know, in your refrigerator, it's like, well, there may be something like I don't know, some leftovers, right? And you're like, well, maybe I'll eat it. You know, I'm just going to leave it there. But you know you're really not going to eat it. You know, you're like, yeah, I'm not going to touch that. But I'm not ready to throw it away yet. I'm not ready to. So you wait long enough. And then you're like, okay, to the point where you're like, okay, yeah, like it's to the point where this is no longer edible. So it has to be thrown away. So I feel like that kind of sounds a little crazy, but you know, it's like one of those things there. All right, so let's get final Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. It's taking a little bit. Two of Cups. Taking a little bit, but I feel like that sort of represents, okay, and I feel like this one wanted to come out too, is the Ace of Wands. That new start, that new beginning. Aces are new beginnings. It took me a little bit to get that card, but I feel like it's going to take you a little bit for this to catch on, for this to kind of register, for you to really, you know, get in touch with that inner voice, to really follow that, to be able to listen to that and to do that work. It took a little bit, but again, I feel like it's closer relationships. It's the eye on the prize. It's that, maybe it's that future relationship that you have with that person that is so beautiful. It's such a nice start. It's a different type of a relationship. You know, it's a strong relationship. It's a connection. It's a strong connection. You know, because we've got the Ace of Wands, we have the Nine of Cups, and the Two of Cups. And I feel that that's a beautiful, it could be any type of relationships, friendships, you know, with the families or friends or business, or it could be a partnership that's coming in for you, or it could be strengthening those relationships. Like I said, those ones that are in that inner circle for Capricorn, making those stronger and even better. And walking away from the ones that are not good for us, and realizing that, and kind of, like I said from the beginning, once you get more in tune with that, like you'll know right away, okay, yeah, this is not going to work for me. And so not even getting involved in that or going down that path and kind of realizing that from the beginning, seeing those red flags and saying, okay, I'm not going to let that happen. And things just becoming, I love this line right here, you know, this 10 of Cups, this King of Cups, letting go of those things, focusing on this 2 of Cups here, and then we have the 2 of Cups here, you know, kind of repeating energies here, repeating energies. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's grab a fortune reading card and close out with that. Being aware of things around us, being aware of the things and the choices that we're making for ourselves. Again, this Tower, rebuilding. What is it? Is it your thought process? Is it your relationships? Beware. See, be careful who you trust at this time. That's exactly what I was saying through this. Being more careful about who you trust. Spotting those chameleons, those people that change, those people who tell you one thing and tell somebody else something else, or they change their opinion just to match. They figure, oh well, this is what you want to hear, so this is how I'm going to change. Being more aware of that and being more in tune with that inner voice and being able to catch that and see that before it becomes something that we're involved in. Being more aware of that. And I just feel like that makes you feel better and more secure with the choices that you do make. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.